Resident Evil 4. Available on all platforms for $19.99. And all platforms isn't much of an exaggeration for a game that was supposed to be a Gamecube exclusive. Resident Evil 4 was a big turning point for the Resident Evil series. It took away tank controls and awkward aiming, and replaced them with good controls and over-the-shoulder aiming. It also replaced zombies with parasites. So we went from Dawn of the Dead to the Puppet Masters. However, the story kept the same old cheesy acting and convoluted storytelling. So Resident Evil fans should feel right at home. You play as Leon Kennedy, trying to find the president's daughter in Spain. This game is often called a long escort mission, except the amount of time you're actually with the president's daughter is fairly limited, as you keep getting separated throughout the story. Which is for the best. She doesn't do anything except get in the way. The game is broken down into 3 general parts. The part where you're fighting villagers using farming equipment. The castle, where cultists use medieval weapons. And then a weird part in a ramshackle military compound where now there are mercenaries trying to kill you. But regardless of what they look like, everyone you're killing is infested with the Las Plagas parasite. Generally, headshots will kill them. Sometimes, however, that'll just make the parasite shoot out of the neck, looking like a weird bat-spider hybrid, or a Cronenberg monster, or a giant worm creature. The parasites are apparently capable of several different forms for some reason.
You better stay outside. Ashley, go hide.
The sections of the game are broken up fairly obviously by boss fights. The village and villager enemies disappear after you kill this Rasputin-looking guy. The cultists disappear once you kill this, child? Or little person? I'm not sure what his deal is. And then the military base ends with the last boss of the game. The gameplay is the reason you're here. It's very satisfying. And the game adjusts to how well you're doing by giving you more or less ammo to try and keep it in the same level of difficulty. This doesn't mean that you can spray and pray with your bullets, but it does mean if you're not great at targeting, you'll still find a way to get by. Oddly enough, due to how the weapons and weapon upgrading works, this game is actually much harder during the beginning portion than towards the end, as you keep getting better weapons and upgrading your weapons. So, zombies, or Las Plagas in this case, keep taking fewer and fewer bullets to kill, and are less likely to overwhelm you. The story is laughable and not worth going into. The voice acting is passable, but they're working with such a laughable story that it's hard to care. In addition to the main story of the game, you have several bonus modes. Assignment Ada, that shows the same story from an alternate perspective. Separate Ways, which seems to be a completely separate story, also starring Ada, and Mercenaries, which is an arcadey kind of game where you choose a character and choose a level, and then kill as many Las Plagas as you can in the allotted time, with each character having a different loadout of weapons. This game has been on nearly everything, starting with the Gamecube, moving on to the PlayStation 2 and PC, then going to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and again on PC. And there's only one version that really mixes up the gameplay at all, because at the end of the day, when you're using a controller, even if it's shaped a little differently, the controls aren't wildly different. But on the Wii, this game was changed quite a bit with motion controls. And oddly enough, this is one of the only games I've ever played that was actually improved by motion controls. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to find the Wii version nowadays. You can get the Wii version through the Wii U eShop, for as long as that's going to last, but it looks pretty rough when you're playing it on a modern HD TV, and there's not a lot of reason to play it outside of the enhanced controls. But this is a great game, and certainly worth playing on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation, and is easily worth the $20 it costs. And it frequently goes on sale, so it's not too hard to find this for $15 or even $10. And this is a game that you can play through many times, as you can switch out what weapons you're using. The Mercenary mode is endlessly replayable. And separate ways and Assignment Ada are certainly interesting, if nothing else. So yes, absolutely recommend Resident Evil 4. And if you would be so kind, like and subscribe.